One Piece chapter 1178 is here, and I am extremely excited to explore this chapter. Haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Going to dive right into it. This chapter is called Waking from a Nightmare, and the cover page here looks like Eustace, Captain Kidd, running away from a charging bull, which is funny because it's like he has the move in his move set that he creates the giant bull. He used that to like spear Big Mom and actually like break her arm. So pretty cool color or cover page here. But let's get right into the chapter. Obviously, we left off with Imu coming face to face with Luffy and Loki. So both the sun god Nika and the Nidhogger. So now it's time to see where this goes, because I am so excited for seemingly this impending fight between those three. So looks like we have Luffy's coming over to the group here. Oh yeah, he's bringing Chopper and Brook, obviously from their beatdown from Imu in the previous chapters. So he's talking to Luffy's talking to Sanji here, and basically he's telling them, they're asking if like he wants backup, but he's like, no, like I'll let you guys know if I need help, but for now, like keep your distance, because he's like, Loki's gonna get pretty reckless, and Sanji is like, coming from you, like he's gonna get reckless, like you do realize that's usually you. So apparently we're gonna have double the reckless when it comes to this fight. Looks like we're cutting away from them. Okay, we're getting back to Loki here. He's right in front of Imu. Okay, so he is charging up a Thorheim lightning blast, and he's talking to Imu here, and he's saying that some years ago, a ship of giants was spotted at sea, and their captain was especially giant. So he is talking to Imu about that period of time that Harold basically became I don't want to use the word slave, but it kind of was. He was the government's lapdog that was out there. That's when he was attacking ships in the mist, and only attacking like government assets. So this is very interesting, because then now he just lets off the blast at Imu, which, I mean, we already know with like the undying regeneration. I highly doubt that this is actually going to do any lasting type of damage, but it looks crazy. It looks awesome. And we got Luffy here charging over. He's hilarious, dude, because he's saying like, well, I wanted to be the one to beat the bad guy, thinking that somehow this fight would already be over, which, okay, like they don't know exactly who this is. We do. But let's see what happens. Oh, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I was completely wrong. This was Imu speaking. Obviously, Loki's charging up a blast. I don't think he can talk at the same time. He's saying that some years ago, so this is when Loki had left the island with the other guards, and he was attacking only government assets while remaining unseen. Okay, got it. Okay, and then Emu's continuing to say that at the same time, there was rumors spread far and wide of a massive flying creature. So obviously that was when Loki had left the island with the other guards, and was clearly just trying to take revenge against the government for what happened with Harold. So that's interesting because then Emu's like, well, now the dots all connect. Like it all makes sense now. And Loki here is saying that, oh, she escaped like too tiny, but at the same time, I don't think it would have done much anyways. But let's continue here. Luffy's coming in for revenge for Usopp and Brook. What in the world? Okay. So Luffy's freaking out because Gunko's body is like contorting and we have the black shadowy goo looking stuff coming out of her. And Emu's like weird little slithery form, similar to how we saw them back in the God Valley flashback coming out of Saturn's body. This is the same things for Gunko's because Luffy's like, well, something popped out. And let's see. Okay, he's saying that if only they would vanish off the face of the earth as rocks did as well. And then we have those like pentagram signs that we've seen before. Diabolical covenant. In exchange for a portion of your lifespan, I'll give you greater strength. In return, you shall hate one another. Domi Reversi. He's stabbing both Luffy and Loki here in hitting the Domi Reversi. Is this actually going to work? Is it going to work? I mean, it worked against Rocks to basically kill his own wife and child almost. So I don't know if maybe they will have some sort of immunity to it. Maybe there is some sort of way to counteract it. I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be anything around Conqueror's Haki because, you know, we know Rocks had potentially some of the greatest Haki we've seen in the series, obviously outside of like Joy Boy. But or Shanks. As of right now, everything we've seen with Emu's like moveset and power, the Domi Reversi, this diabolical covenant, all of this stuff, it just seems exceptionally broken. Which, like, for the big bad of One Piece, this massive world and this crazy story, it makes a lot of sense for them to be broken. However, there needs to be some sort of, maybe not even drawback, but because we know there is a little bit of a drawback when it comes to the depths and abyss covenants, that there's a drawback when that person actually does get killed, how Harold did. It actually affected Emu. So like killing someone with that contract does seem to have a drawback on Emu. But outside of that, I mean, it seems like an undefendable attack. You know what? Before I just like totally go off the rails here, let's just turn the page. Okay, we have Luffy and Loki here looking the same. And they seem to shake it off. They shook it off. Luffy says it doesn't even hurt. Loki's, saying like, get off me. And like, hey, did you say something about Rocks? Rocks was his hero. And we have Emu here. Okay, so somehow they fought it off. Let's see if we actually get an answer. Oh, that's not surprising at all. We have, in true Oda fashion, he has Emu start talking about what they both are, like, as they suspected. It didn't work, basically. And he doesn't get to finish, they don't get to finish what they're saying. Oda does this all the time. He says, ye are both blank. No, we are in like the end game, like seemingly getting actually close to the end game of One Piece. And Oda is still just dangling those carrots, man. He gives us some answers, but then that just gives us more questions. I love One Piece, but this absolutely just kills me. Just like, what are they? They're both what? And I don't know if maybe it has to do, like I said, with their mythical devil fruits. You know, they are gods, maybe. That maybe has something to do with it. If the Nidhogg is considered like its vessel is wielder is the god of war that spoke about fighting against the sun god. Like, I don't know. But then now we have Luffy charging up an attack, and Loki is thinking to himself, oh, basically the targets are so small, like he can't fight like this, which makes a lot of sense. And I was kind of thinking about this just for his powers. The giant dragon form, as absolutely amazing as it is, that is the perfect form for mass combat. So huge scale attacks against vast amounts of opponents. But when it comes to actually fighting against other top tiers, it simply is more of a cumbersome. It's kind of similar to Kaido in dragon form. He was much more fierce in his hybrid form, which I would love to see a hybrid form for Loki. It would look so sick. So maybe we'll get to see that, maybe not. Luffy's charging up. Oh, and he's smoking Imu with a Dawn Gatling here. Of course, it's blowing him to pieces. But again, yeah, it's coated in armament hockey, maybe even Rio. It's not going to do anything in the long run. Okay, now we've got Loki changing back into his just giant form, his normal form. He's got Ragnar, and it's got the little. He's got Ragnar. Ratatoskr is in hammer form, but it's got the little. It does little. It still looks like it's transforming, so it's got the little squirrel face on it, which is very cute. He's coming in for a giant swing, and oh, that is sick. That is actually so sweet. He hits him with a Nibelheim, and it like creates a frozen giant cube around Imu and Gunko's body. Just frozen completely. Luffy's like, you can do that as a finisher? That's awesome. And now he's complaining, like, I haven't gotten in enough damage. And hits. And there's the kickback. See, that's super interesting because this is still something for Luffy in terms of growth with his strength in his like upper ceiling of capabilities. The big drawback for Luffy still is his stamina with Gear 5. That is something that he still needs to continue to train and extend that time, and hopefully one day maybe even basically remove the limit on it. We'll have to wait and see, but let's continue. Okay, Loki's basically saying, like, this is just the quickest solution. He's too big before, like, to really do anything. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he hasn't unlocked his hybrid form as of yet, or maybe just didn't see the necessity to. Well, actually, I think he has, because in the flashback with Harold, after Harold lost it and after Loki ate the Nidhogg fruit, he seemed it in the silhouette of when he was fighting Harold. It seemed like he did have a hybrid form. So I don't know. We'll probably just have to wait and see. But obviously Imu is not actually done. maybe this is enough to essentially break or break the connection with Gunko. So maybe this will get Emu removed from Elbaf. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Okay, we're going around Elbaf right now. There's fires. Loki got rid of the monsters, but he also kind of lit some stuff on fire because of the lightning. People are talking about the fact that Loki didn't kill King Harold. And basically, yeah, okay, so they're saying they feel bad, similar to the new Giant Warrior Pirates, how like they feel bad for accusing him of patricide and like killing his father, but all the other stuff that he's done still holds true, which, you know, fair point to them. Like, that's been their experience with him. And okay, we got Nami still getting Zeus to rain down more, keep raining. Hey, we got Jinbei doing some ocean current shoulder throws, trying to put out all the fire. Okay, Vegapunk's talking about that the ODC system can only do so much. Now we're back to the Western Village with our group of Zoro, the Harden, Stanson, and okay, Dorian Broggie and all the other giants. Okay, so there's still a handful left. So they've beaten most of them, but there is still a group that are left. We've got Chopper running up here. Okay, so maybe we're gonna figure out how Chopper kind of just like slapped the dude last chapter out of their reversey. Let's see. Okay, runs up in Monster Point. And sure enough, he just slaps them both in the back. The like demon kind of soul thing is coming out of them and they flip. Boop, right back to normal. No, no answer. So Zoro is asking him like, "Hey, what'd you just do?" And Chopper's just like, "Well, I don't know why, but all I have to do is hit him, and it cures their demonic power." And Zoro's like, "Well, is it because you're a good doctor?" Of course, that makes Chopper very happy. And then they just breeze past it, like, "Well, that clears this up. Well, what about elsewhere?" It's like, we don't actually. Come on, like, that's not an answer. Why is it so easy for Chopper? If all you gotta do is slap him in the back, that's way easier than trying to deal lethal damage. I have no idea. I guess maybe we're still saving that for another time. So Oda's still kind of hanging that over us at the moment. Okay, and it seems like most of the Domi Reversi are taken care of, and now everybody's just kind of trying to put the fire out all around Elbaf. And now we are cutting to the Owl Library with Saul and Robin. Okay. So everything in the library is frozen, and they said it was definitely on fire, but now all the books are gone. There's not a single charred book. All the shelves are empty, and they cannot see Biblo, the owl, either. So he somehow removed all the books, maybe by shrinking them and then taking them. But where did he go? Because we need that. We need those sorely. So hopefully Biblo is a good guy. I assume he would be. But if he was bad, he probably would have already taken them a long time ago. Got Zoro and Sanji with killing him, just kind of talking crap here. Basically, like once they started fighting back, like it pretty much got wrapped up pretty quickly. But Frankie points out a good question that they were just fighting against 3 of the Holy Knights and not like a whole organization, which is a good point. Okay, outside the Western Village. Outside the Western Village, there's a giant handprint. Wait a second. Okay, wait. Okay, there seems to be a giant handprint. And then someone's head cut in half. Oh, wait. Wait, is that Summers? Is that who it is? Is that Saint Summers? Oh, okay, wait. That is that giant hand, that's from when Loki slammed down Summers after Luffy hit him with the giant Thor attack. So yes, that's his head, his heart, which doesn't even look like a human heart. It looks like made out of something else. Maybe that has to do something with the Covenant. But it looks like he's starting to piece himself back together again. I was so confused for a second. I saw the head chopped in half and it like in the heart, and I got a little bit super excited that maybe it had something to do with Law, with the Opie Opie no Mi, but nope, it's Summers, unfortunately. Okay, now we're coming back to Luffy's team. He's still tuckered out. He needs some food. Okay, and we have Imu inside of the ice seemingly disappear. Now we're going back to Marijois, which part of it next to Pangaea Castle looks totally destroyed. Maybe from the fires that they were talking about that were raging in the Holy Land. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that wreckage is right there, but it must be from what's been going on, maybe with the Revolutionary Army. I'm not sure. Okay, we're back in the Chamber of Flowers in Pangaea Castle. Got Imu here. Oh no. Oh no. Imu is telling the 5 elders that they will be leaving the Holy Land for a time. Oh no. But yes. Oh no for our guys, but like, oh yes for potentially seeing Imu finally revealed. And that is where the chapter ends. This was great. Honestly, Luffy and Loki dispatched Imu fairly quicker than I anticipated, but obviously they're in very limited capacity when they are operating through someone else, so through Gunko's body, they're only able to use seemingly a small fraction of their true power. But now the fact that they themselves are leaving, like, I'm assuming since the Holy Knights can travel through the abyss, that means Emu themselves, of course, can travel through that abyss. So they might be coming there. Well, and right now Luffy's tuckered out. He needs some food. If Emu is coming back, and I mean like the real Emu is coming back, they got to get this man some food quick. I don't know. I don't know if Oda is going to cut away, like he loves to do this, give this kind of reveal at the end of a chapter, and then we're expecting next chapter to like maybe see Emu mobilize, and then we just cut away, to like a different group or maybe even outside of Elbaf. Like, I don't know. That's awesome. This chapter was great, just kind of flicking back through it. I mean, all the Emu and Loki and Luffy stuff was great. There's some serious questions around why the Domi Reversi did not work on Luffy and Loki, considering it was capable of working on rocks, of all people. And I'm thinking it probably has something to do with the devil fruits. But then that would make it so that the only people that can actually really fight against Emu have to have basically these mythical godlike Zoans, maybe. And I don't know, that may be very specific, but it might be necessary. Not sure. Hopefully we'll get some more answers. Oda loves to just, they're Emu saying like they suspected it. They're both blank. We don't know. So, yeah, other than that, we don't have the answer to why Chopper can just slap the Domi Reversi out of people. Hopefully we'll get an answer to that eventually. But the overall destruction of Elbaf seems to be contained, at least for the time being. But we still have Summers is putting himself back together. Don't know what's going to happen with Gunko now that Emu's left their body. And apparently Emu may be coming to Elbaf very, very soon. So regardless, loved the chapter. Love to hear what any of you guys think about it. And I will catch you guys in the next chapter for the next exploration. So, peace.